Madam Chairperson, sorry I'm late. We had a meeting with the Prime Minister, which I lost my slot, so I'm grateful for giving it to me now. I rise today in the absence of the Honourable Home Minister, for which I'm quite sad, but I hope he's listening somewhere. I rise today to vehemently oppose the UAPA Amendment Bill 2019.
MOS Home is here.
Yes, I know, sir. I was talking about the cabinet. No problem, sir, no problem. No problem.
Mr. Kishan Reddy, where is he gone?
It's okay, sir.
He's gone to Rajya Sabha.
Which is fine. This is members' time. Somebody has to be taking note.
I rise today to vehemently oppose the UAPA Amendment Bill 2019. Please. Warren Buffett is said to have once said, if you put a police car on anyone's tail for 500 miles, they're going to get a ticket. The current dispensation at the centre seems to be following this very reasoning. If they want to target someone, they'll get them somehow, on some law or the other, on some lacuna or the other. Opposition leaders, rights activists, minorities, anyone who doesn't agree with the homogeneous idea of India that this government is trying to thrust upon us is at risk. अगर इनके साथ हो तो भगवान, ना हो तो शैतान. ये तो नाइंसाफी है. In the short time that I have been privileged to be here in this house, I have experienced it firsthand. Each time we oppose a bill, bring in a cut motion or move an amendment, and these are all purely hypothetical exercises given the brute majority this government enjoys. We run the risk of being labelled anti-national. When Dr. Tharoor opposed the introduction of the UAPA bill, no less a person than the Honourable Home Minister leaned forward and said, सोच लीजिए, विरोध करना है क्या? वापस लेना है? The Honourable Minister sits in Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's chair. Patel was the unifier of India. He once said, it is the prime responsibility of every citizen to feel that this country is free and to defend its freedom is his duty. Sir, it is not enough to build the world's tallest statue in Sardar Patel's honour. We must all of us try at least to stand as tall as him. Why, sir, do I feel a sense of menace? Why, ever since I've been elected and since my maiden speech, do friends and family call me and tell me to be careful? They'll somehow get you. Why do I feel this? You become here as a result of a popular majority. I too have been elected. All of us here too have been elected. Why are we in the opposition always at the risk of being called anti-national every time we disagree with this government on issues of national security, on issues of law and order, on issues of policing? Every time we disagree, this government, its troll armies, its propaganda machinery work overtime to call us terrorist sympathizers, to call us secular, to call us anti-national. Madam, I urge you, madam. I can fight my case. Madam, I will fight my case. Madam, I will stand here. Madam, just because they're 353 does not mean they will shout us down. I stand my ground. The honourable member did not quote the point. You quoted the number. He did not. I have not said anything against any single member, madam. Please.
So collectively you are saying against the government. You not said it against one person.
I said the propaganda machinery. And the troll armies. I am on record. I have said it is unfortunate that you need 3 ministers to stand up and fight me. It is unfortunate today that you need 3 ministers and the treasury benches to stand up and fight me. It is unfortunate. I welcome the Honourable Minister. Thank you. I am sure Mr. Shah will have the grace to hear me out. I have full confidence that here, he will have the grace to hear me out. It is a matter of, I would say, great shame that it needs 3 ministers to single-handedly handle me, but I will continue. Thank you. Because to paraphrase both the Mahatma and George Orwell, the truth is the truth even if I am a minority of one. And in times of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. सब तेरे सिवा काफिर, आखिर इसका मतलब क्या? सब तेरे सिवा काफिर, आखिर इसका मतलब क्या? सर फिरा दे इंसान का ऐसे खप से मजहब क्या? हाँ तो हम हमने सोच लिया, विरोध हम वापस नहीं लेंगे. I will stand here in this hollowed chamber and spell out my opposition.
माननीय सदस्य प्लीज, माननीय सदस्य प्लीज.
Sir.
आप भी माननीय सदस्य को बोलने
दें. This is just a ploy to interrupt my speech.
No interrupt.
Please, sir, please keep the house in order, sir. I beg you. I beseech you, sir. Please keep the house in order. Right? Because they have
आप उधर मत करो, माननीय सदस्य.
I am looking at you, sir. Sir, I am look, but you must keep them quiet.
No, इधर.
Please keep the house in order. Please keep the house in order. I have got 22 minutes. I will speak. Like I said, the truth is the truth. Even if I'm a minority of one, and in times of deceit, speaking the truth is a revolutionary act. Sir, I spoke only through before this, the Madam Chairperson. Now I'm speaking only through. I'm following parliamentary procedure. It is unfortunate that the Treasury branches see it fit to disturb me, and I will take an extra 3 minutes, sir. I'm telling you. Thank you so much. हमने सोच लिया और हम विरोध वापस नहीं लेंगे. I will stand here in this hollow chamber and I will spell out my opposition, sir.
माननीय सदस्य प्लीज बोलने दे. माननीय सदस्य.
I will spell out my opposition to this bill.
माननीय सदस्य इधर.
I will spell out my opposition not just to this bill, not just to the Treasury bunches, but to all the people of India who may be listening. This country still has. Sir, please keep the house in order.
माननीय सदस्य, आपका समय खत्म हो गया. मैं एक्स्ट्रा समय दे रहा हूँ.
I will keep speaking. Sir, they are disturbing me. I urge you to be fair. This country still has people that appreciate nuance. It still has people who have not degenerated into this mindless world of black and white, where either we can only be pro-government or we can be anti-country. We have not. All of India does not believe this. Even if members of this house may, all of India does not believe this. So it is possible to stay here, to stand here and be anti-government and still be pro-India, and that's the space that I seek to represent today. Let me now go through this bill and point out what is so wrong with it. I will try and make it as simple as possible without the legalese, so ordinary citizens may understand this, because this is not just a bill for lawyers. This is not just a bill for police people. This is a bill that may affect you and me tomorrow. So we must be able to speak in a way that ordinary people must be able to understand.
ये आतंकवादियों पे इफेक्ट डालेगा, आप पे नहीं डालेगा.
There are two concentrate. नहीं, according to this amendment, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, that is just the point. You have hit the nail on the head. Honorable Speaker. This bill seeks to do one thing. One is to designate individuals as terrorists without due process. So कल हमें भी कर सकते हैं, इसीलिए हम बोल रहे हैं. That is exactly what this bill is trying to do. The second thing, it is trying to do two things. There are two amendments that are very worrying. I would urge you to please stop them from heckling, Mr. Speaker, sir. There are two amendments here which are extremely worrying. I will go through both of them. The first is the amendment which is to Clause 5, Section 25, which enables the NIA to be able to go into any state and to arrest and seize and search properties without the permission of the state's DGP or even without the knowledge of the state's DGP. Now, this is completely against the federal structure of our country, because if you see in List 1, you are trying to give the NIA policing powers under IPC and other special acts. The NIA is not an agency that is in List 1. It is in List 2 that the powers of policing are vested with the state. So in this case, the only agency which is on List 1 is the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Central Bureau of Inquiry. Now, in this case, the High Court of Assam has even struck down the constitutional validity of even the CBI. That is a stay order case is pending in the Supreme Court. So in this case, where the NIA itself is under a cloud, you are giving it more policing powers. Even the CBI, when they go in to investigate, they work with the state police. We are a federal structure. States have a certain degree of sovereignty. In this case, if the DGP is not even aware of this and the NIA come in, this is a power which is completely goes against the grain of the Constitution. There have been the second point, which is the most dangerous amendment, is Clause 5, Section 35. Exactly what you referred to. What you are doing is you are seeking to designate individuals as terrorists, in addition to the existing terrorist organizations. In Section 35, you are creating a whole different test of who is a terrorist. Individuals involved in terrorism, or he promotes or encourages terrorism. Now, the current UAPA in its current form already allows you to take all action possible for individuals that are involved in terrorism. You have section 16, which gives you the death penalty and life imprisonment. You have sections 38 to 48, which criminalizes membership, support and raising funds. So there is no need to designate individuals without due process. You have set out in this section 36 a process for denotification. But there is no process for notification. You are talking about the UN Security Council saying in the statement of objects and reasons that we have to be in line with international obligations. The UN Security Council Resolution 1373 lays out very clearly what is the process of freezing funds. In this case, there is nothing laid out. There is no process. It's not even following law procedure. Forget about due process. So any government in India which has taken away the safeguards for life and liberty that the Constitution has given to us, no government has been able to survive without paying a heavy price. You yourself have got somebody who has come in elected, and I respect the person who has come in elected as an honourable member of parliament, who is a terror accused under NIA. You say it was political targeting. Fine, I can believe it may be political targeting, but you are doing the same thing that tomorrow may be targeting somebody else. So, लगेगी आग तो आएंगे घर के ही जद में, लगेगी आग तो आएंगे घर के ही जद में, यहाँ पे सिर्फ हमारा मकान थोड़ी है. So I urge you, Mr. Speaker, I urge you through you to tell the Honourable Minister to please withdraw this bill. This is anti-federalism, it is anti-constitutional and it's anti-people. It is a very dangerous bill. I urge you, please take it back. Thank you.